How did the British exploit the Indian subcontinent? When you typically think of colonization, you think of a foreign power sending settlers to take control of another land and its natural resources. This is a practice the British followed in many of their colonies across the world, including North America, the Caribbean, Australia, and the Cape. However, the Indian subcontinent was too densely populated, which made the region a colony of exploitation rather than settlement. There are many ways in which the British exploited the region, but primarily it happened through the trade system. Before the colonial period, the British East India Company bought goods such as textiles and spices from India and paid for them with silver. However, after the Treaty of Allahabad in 1965, Britain began collecting taxes in the region. They then used about a third of those taxes to fund the purchase of Indian goods, essentially acquiring them for free. This was theft, taken from locals using money that had just been taken from them. Some of those goods were used in Britain, while the rest were re-exported everywhere else. On top of this, the British sold those stolen goods for far more than what they bought them for in the first place. In 1858, after the company's monopoly had broken and Britain had directly taken control of the administration, local producers from the Indian subcontinent were allowed to export their goods directly to other countries. However, Britain made sure the profits went to London. So how did that happen? Basically, anyone who wanted to buy goods from the Indian subcontinent had to purchase special council bills, a paper currency only issued by the British Crown. The only way to get those bills was with gold or silver. So essentially, traders would give the British gold and give the locals those bills, which would pay out in rupees, which came from the tax revenues. Once again, the goods were stolen from them. Between 1765 to 1938, the economist Utsa Patnaik estimated that Britain stole a total of 45 trillion from the local population. This money was used to finance the empire and its wars across the globe. So in fact, if you really think about it, the Indian subcontinent developed Britain.